James Cameron likes his female leads more bad, as he recently put it, than Marvel and DC heroines. That being said, he thinks Winslet's character in Avatar 2 is his most empowering female action hero yet. The Titanic creator has received many accolades for his profound work and his more than 25-year career. He's made futuristic ideas come to reality, but that's not what he's most proud of. The 68-year-old recently shared that he takes pride in female empowerment in his films, be it Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley in Aliens or Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor in Terminator 2.
Listen, do you know what you're doing?
I have detailed files on human anatomy.
I bet. Makes you a more efficient killer, right?
Correct.
Cameron has always focused on showing his female heroines to being quite independent, and according to Cameron, Kate Winslet's character Renal in Avatar 2: The Way of Water is the filmmaker's most empowering female action hero yet. Why does he think that? Well, for one, Kate Winslet's character is fighting while she's pregnant. The Canadian director opened up about his decision to make Renal pregnant in the sequel. His reasoning was quite simple. What could be more empowering than a woman fighting while she's carrying a child? That's got to be the most dramatic display of a brave woman. According to Cameron, Renal is the Tsak, which means the spiritual leader, the shaman, and the keeper of wisdom. And Tonowari is the Oelektan, or the male leader who oversees hunting, weaving, and any sort of fabrication task. The Terminator director stated during an interview that everybody's always discussing female empowerment, so he wanted to show a big part of a woman's life that men don't get to experience. And he thought, well, if you're really going to go all the way down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, let's have a female warrior who's 6 months pregnant in battle. The man's got a point here, although there's more to why he added this character. For instance, he wanted to debunk the myth that pregnant women can't defend themselves. Basically, the Hollywood director's trying to change mindsets with his films. Generally, pregnant women are treated with a lot of care and considered weak or powerless, but Cameron thinks that's not true. With the portrayal of Renal in the epic sci-fi, the director wants to transcend the misconception that pregnant women are unequipped to fight for themselves. But the filmmaker also knows things are quite different in modern society versus the olden days. The Terminator director said that back in the day, women had to fight for survival and also protect their children, and it didn't matter if they were pregnant or not. He also claimed that pregnant women are capable of being more athletic than our culture acknowledges. The 68-year-old said he wanted to take the real boundaries off, and in his opinion, it's something we don't think about. Taking the example of Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, James agreed that they're all amazing women, but at the end of the day, they're not mothers, and they're not pregnant while they're fighting the bad guys. Well, Cameron's intentions are clear. He wants his female action heroes to be more empowered than the MCU or DCU, although there's no one meaning of empowerment, and it's for the audience to decide whether the director did a good job or not. Now, let's get some female perspective on this. Want to hear what Kate Winslet had to say about her iconic role? Well, the actress said she felt like a superhuman. Pregnant women are rarely portrayed as forces of nature in Hollywood, but Kate Winslet gets the chance to play one of those exceptional roles. The Oscar winner talks about the effects of playing Renal, the spiritual leader of the reef-dwelling Metkahina Na'vi tribe. Her character is seen storming into the thick of combat while carrying a child. The Canadian filmmaker had already decided that Renal would be expecting, according to Winslet. In an interview with EW, she expressed how fascinated she was with her role and found it to be really cool. Winslet said James has a great deal of respect for women, particularly pregnant women, and what they are capable of. He also believes that pregnant women are physically stronger and tougher than most people realize or give them credit for, she added, and the 47-year-old actress agrees with the director's thinking. The Titanic star said pregnant women can surely achieve a lot of things. Kate said she's always seen pregnant women doing something or the other and not just sitting idle. Being a mother of 3, Winslet would know. She explained that when you're pregnant, you actually become invincible, and you even feel superhuman, she said. The Avatar star said she really loved Cameron's ability and quality to channel that superhuman energy and put it into its Na'vi form. But how does Winslet perceive Renal? Turns out she thought her character was much more juicy and feminine than she had imagined. When actors are given a script, they come up with with the idea of their character in their minds, but often while playing the role and embodying the character, they get familiar with a lot of layers. The same happened with Kate. Winslet recalled seeing the very first mock-ups of her character. She felt her role would be much more severe and she would feel a lot older. That's because Renal was so wise, spiritual, and powerful, and the actress associates all those qualities with older people who are much more clever and worldly than her. So she wasn't expecting Renal to be a feminine and free-spirited person. Adding on, Kate said the concept art and visualization helped shape her performance, as well as Renal's portrayal as a mother in the Oscar-nominated film. Once the shooting started, Winslet said they decided that Renal would really be the mother who was helping the other young new mothers. Kate described Renal as a shamanic figure in the community, and she said she brought age-old customs and things that she had learned. These included potions, herbs, spells, chants, and rituals that would help people to heal, she explained. Winslet was quite intrigued to play the part because she thought Renal wasn't just a mother, but someone who brought the whole community together. And she was a true leader who was looking after her people as well as making decisions to protect everyone, and not just her own family. Speaking of inspirational woman leaders, there's another feminist character in the sequel. It's Neytiri's character, who brings heart to Avatar 2. While the film industry keeps growing, there are still very few representations of women in the sci-fi genre, especially if we're talking about older women. But Cameron does a great job with both Renal and Neytiri's characters, so much so that he could even be called a feminist filmmaker of sorts. Even without the labels, the director has been putting women at the center of his multi-million epic films from the start of his career. And he did the same with the creation of Zoe Saldana's character Neytiri in Avatar: The Way of Water. Although it's Jake Sully's POV that we see at the start of the film, it's hard not to miss Neytiri. Her empathy and her fight for the sanctity of the home tree give heart to the overall narrative. While Saldana does a great job in developing a romantic relationship with Worthington, she still gets to be fierce. Neytiri's the most skilled hunter in her tribe, not to forget her brutal execution of Colonel Quaritch during the movie's last battle is one of the most crowd-pleasing and iconic moments in cinema. With Renal and Neytiri's characters being feminist icons, Cameron's portrayal of women does look better than the MCU and DCU. We hope the filmmaker continues to put women at the center of his epics. See ya in the next video.